Hello everyone, I'm going to be presenting my SkillsUSA presentation by Jayden and Aguirre. Part 1, how the concept was developed. So first I had to research, I went on the SkillsUSA website and researched the requirements and their information about the organization, just to get a general idea of what I'm working with. Just so I don't mess anything up on the pin design or the t-shirt design, and I make everything spot on. Part 2, examples. So I searched up past SkillsUSA pin designs, and I looked at California, I looked from other states, just to see what their emblems were and how they implemented that on their pin design. I looked at this color schemes, and I just started to brainstorm. Part 3, California icons. So I searched up the California monuments and iconic California signs, locations, lettering, color schemes, and I kind of just all placed them together in a big brainstorm idea, and I really analyzed what I really wanted to do for the pin design. So then I started to move forward to my designing process. Number 2, brainstorming. So first I reviewed all the inspiration that I got from all my research, and I narrowed out the options. I wanted to get a good one, a good pin design and a good t-shirt design, and I wanted to implement that on the idea. Part 2, the gathered assets. So I gathered all the icons for California, all the color schemes for California, all the emblems for California, and I placed them in a vibe board in Canva, and I started to brainstorm and started to make my pin design and t-shirt design off of that. Part 3, I begin the design process. I used the ideas and I placed them into a circle shape, and I placed them into a black t-shirt to see what I was working with, so what I wanted my design to look like. Number 3, creating the design. So first I have my design number 1 right here. So you can see I placed it in a circle, and I have this lettering right here. I put this lettering, and it kind of reminds me of the Dodgers, which I feel like is a good emblem for California. I feel like when people think of California, they think of Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is a really, really big city where all little cities just form into one big city. And I feel like they think of sports teams because everyone's sports fans, and they think of baseball, they think of Dodgers, they think of the California lettering. And then I added some palm trees right here. And I really just, so I added some palm trees. I made them black. And I have this nice color scheme in the back right here to kind of go with the sunset. And I added the palm trees because California is known for having palm trees. Palm Springs, we have a city called. Design 2 right here. I kind of they're all about the same design. It's just, I kind of just messed with the color schemes. And you can see right here, the first design had a circle around SkillsUSA 26. This one has no circle. And I messed with the colors of the top palm trees to kind of contrast into this purple and blend in with this California sign. And I added these purple ones to contrast with the purple above and the yellow right here. And I just took off the circle. And then for my final design, this is my best one. I decided to add the circle back. And instead of putting 2025 to 2026, I just had 26 with an apostrophe. And I still kept the color schemes, I still kept the sunset, and I just contrasted everything. So the reason I chose a color set was because of the California sunsets in the background, and that really just went to my head oh, California has really nice sunsets. So I was looking at different color sunsets. There was blue on green, there was everything was just contrasting, but this one really caught my eye because this reminded me of California with really bright colors, because California is usually pretty hot state in summer, so some hot colors. And my font choice, I just chose California lettering. I feel like when people think of California, they think of this kind of font. They think of a nice cursive font, something, an emblem with the Dodgers. I mean, even the Lakers have a font just like this almost. And same thing with the colors, all Laker colors right here. So for the shirt designs, my first one was this one right here. So I thought I don't really want to do what I had on here. Like for this one, this was another one of my prototypes. I wanted to try what it would look like with the shirt, with the design, the pin design on the shirt. It was cool, but I feel like that really didn't fit the shirt for this prototype. And then this prototype right here, this one was a little bit more plain, but still the good color contrast. And I did like this one because it was nice font up here, and it really contrasted with this and the California Republic. That's a good emblem for California, the bear. And then this one right here, this was the money one, the one in the middle. When I saw this right here, this design, I was like, I should put some palm trees with some good, like almost like a surf vibe. All these different colors kind of remind me of, surfing on the beach, palm trees, and California is known for beaches, since we're on the coast. So SkillsUSA, and I put this, I had this font color on this right here, on this side, and it contrasted perfectly. And I was like, yep, that's the money. So once again, color choices, for this one, surf theme, and I used the SkillsUSA color to contrast to this and the black, so it blended in perfectly. The white right here, it really just it really popped. The white really popped out on a black shirt. And usually when you wear black shirts, they have white font. It's not really darker font because it won't, contrast with it. And this one, this is all, Laker colors. I'm a big fan of Laker colors. Just stuff to remind me of California, to remind other people of California. What makes these two designs unique? When I was looking at the pins from California, I didn't see any pin, not a single pin that had a color scheme just like this one. There could have been sunsets, but it was not this color. And the fact that I ended up contrasting the color of the palm trees and the color of the font choice with the background really just set it in, and it's like, this is the money. This is perfect. And right here, this circle right here, I feel like it just fits in. Back when I had the no circle, I feel like it didn't really fit in. It didn't really pop. So I decided to put back the circle in, and the circle really contrasted with the black right here on the California. Some black right here, and it contrasted in perfectly. And it's noticeable since this is all light color into black color. And then for the shirt, what makes this unique is, once again, when I looked at the shirts, I didn't see a single shirt that had this kind of layout. I had SkillsUSA at the top to make it pop, to know what the shirt is about, to make people ask, what's SkillsUSA? So I decided to put the palm trees in there. Once again, there was some designs with palm trees, but it didn't have this background color, and the black palm trees really popped out. It didn't have that background color at all. And that's what makes this one unique, and what makes this one unique. Why would someone wear or collect this? I feel like I would wear this, and other people would wear the shirt, because it really, if you're living in California and you want people to know, yeah, this is my state, this is where I'm from, this is where this is where my home is. And if people from other states see it, be like, oh wait, what's this? What does the palm trees have to do with anything? And they're gonna be like, that's an emblem of California. And I feel like when I see a lot of people walking around beaches and stuff, this is a really good beach attire shirt. When I see people walking around beaches, they're always wearing surf attire, they're always wearing palm tree shirts, they're always wearing sandals, flip-flops, hats, glasses. And I feel like this would really fit in with their outfit. And what makes this pin design unique is, and why would someone would want to collect this? See, a lot of people collect pins of something that's important to them. And I don't know if it's just me, but the city that I live in and the state that I live in is important to me. And especially when it's good color scheme and it matches California perfectly, that's why someone would want to collect that. Especially for collector items and stuff, and you want to put that on like a little thing where you pin stuff on there. Collector travel items in California. Maybe some people from other states, if they see a California pin, they have California pin, they have Nevada pin, they have all other state pins. And this could really contrast in. This is what makes it different from other pins, the color scheme. See, my biggest challenge with this was, on the pin design, my biggest challenge, honestly, there wasn't much of a challenge. It's just the hardest part was finding the good color, because you could have all this design with terrible color and it wouldn't blend in perfectly. It wouldn't match California vibe. It would just be plain. That's why I decided to add the sunset in the background. Originally I had just a plain purple black background, plain yellow background, until I was like, but that doesn't really fit California like that. But when it has like a contrast of a sunset, that fits California, because California is also known for their sunsets. My biggest challenge for the shirt was honestly finding the perfect design. I already knew that I was gonna have the format for the SkillsUSA California 26 up here, but the challenge was finding the design. What helped me find the design was I went back on my vibe board and I looked at a lot of things. I saw on my vibe board there was In and Out, there was In and Outs, there was palm trees, there was the freeway signs, there was San Francisco Gate Bridge, there was all that stuff, different sports teams. But what really caught my eye was palm trees. That's why I decided to revolve my designs around palm trees. Palm trees. This one, the color scheme's a little bit different, but the reason I chose the SkillsUSA font is because it really contrasted in with this middle font, and that really blended in with the design, and it made it perfect to my liking. The biggest success with the pin design was how everything just collapsed together. Everything was just, when I put it all and grouped everything together, it looked amazing. The color, everything matches. The font, everything matches. It has a nice, city font right here, and then it has a nice formal font for SkillsUSA, and that, I feel like that really brought everything together. But the main part was the color. That was the hardest part, and when you get that right, that becomes the best part, because the color could change anything. Like, for instance, if this one was white, if this shirt was white, it wouldn't fit good, because this is too light for white. Some of these colors are too light for white, and it just wouldn't pop out. See, but the reason I put it on a black shirt right here was because the colors. I wanted to choose a good color that could match the design and the font, and that's why I put it on a black shirt. But yeah, for the same thing for the t-shirt design, my biggest success was the color scheme, and the palm trees. Because I feel like without the palm trees, it would be plain. Just imagine no palm trees. It would just be these colors right here with birds flying. You know what I mean? Nothing. Like, it would be like, oh, like whatever. But this emblem, it really brings together the California vibe. And that's what the biggest success was. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and have a good day.